He weighs 17 pounds. But nobody told him that, because every single morning, without fail, this oversized cream cat named Biscuit walks into the kitchen, looks up at his owner Sarah, and waits to be picked up. Not fed first, not petted first, picked up. Like a newborn, like he has no idea that he is the size of a small dog and the weight of a Thanksgiving turkey. And Sarah picks him up every single time. She holds him against her shoulder the way you hold an infant, one hand under his back legs, one hand supporting his weight. He tucks his chin into her neck, he exhales, and the world apparently is fine. Because the look on his face when she doesn't, nobody in that house can handle it. But to understand why Biscuit is the way he is, we have to go back to the beginning. And the beginning is not a pretty story. Sarah found him in a cardboard box outside a grocery store on a Thursday afternoon in September. He was 8 weeks old. He fit in one hand. There was no note, no blanket, no explanation. Just a tiny cream-colored kitten with enormous amber eyes blinking slowly in the afternoon sun like he had been waiting for someone specific and had simply decided that Sarah was her. She wasn't looking for a cat. She had a studio apartment, a demanding job, and a gray tabby named Sterling who had made it very clear over 7 years that he had no interest in sharing territory with anyone. Sterling had rules. The left side of the bed was his. The windowsill was his. Strangers were tolerated at a distance and not a single inch closer. Sarah stood on that sidewalk for 4 minutes. She counted later. 4 minutes of telling herself no. Then she put Biscuit in her jacket pocket. He was small enough to fit, and drove home. Sterling's reaction was exactly what she expected. He took one look at the kitten, walked to the top of the refrigerator, and did not come down for 3 days. But Biscuit didn't seem to notice. He explored the apartment with the focused energy of a project manager on a site inspection. He located the food bowls, the sunny patch by the window, the softest corner of the couch. And then he found Sterling's spot on the bed, the left side, against the wall, climbed up, and went to sleep. Sterling came down on day 4. He walked to the bed, he looked at Biscuit. Biscuit looked back at him with complete calm, as if to say, "I saved you the right side." Sterling stepped up and lay down 6 inches away, and that was that. But what happened over the next 2 years was something Sarah hadn't planned for at all. Biscuit never stopped acting like a kitten. Not at 4 months, not at 8, not at 1 year when Sarah had to use both arms to carry him and her back had started to politely complain. Not at 2 years old when he stepped on the bathroom scale one Tuesday morning and the number read 17.02. Sarah stared at that number for a long time. Then she looked at Biscuit. Biscuit looked back at her with the same expression he'd had at 8 weeks. Patient, trusting, slightly confused about why she seemed stressed. He stepped off the scale, he walked to her feet, he looked up, still waiting. The vet laughed at the appointment that Friday, not unkindly. He's perfectly healthy, he's just substantial. Substantial. Sarah drove home with 17 pounds in the carrier on the passenger seat, a cat who still believed with his whole heart that he was the tiny pocket kitten she had carried home from that parking lot. And here's the part nobody tells you about raising a cat who never quite figures out he's grown. It changes you. By the time Biscuit turned 3, the morning routine had become sacred. 6:15 a.m. Sarah's alarm goes off. Biscuit is already awake. He has been watching her sleep with the patient focus of someone who has an appointment and intends to keep it. He sits at the edge of the bed, all 17 pounds of him, watching her face for the first sign of consciousness. The moment her eyes open, he begins. A small sound, not quite a meow, more like a question. Are you ready? Is it time? She sits up. He walks up her legs, across her stomach, and pushes his face into her neck. 17 pounds, directly on her ribcage. Every morning. "I cannot breathe," Sarah told her sister once. "And I don't care," she added immediately. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, honestly, that stings a little. Hit subscribe right now. You are not going to want to miss what comes next. Little did they know, the morning ritual was only part of the story, because Biscuit had a second ritual, a nighttime one, and it involved Sterling. At some point in year 2, nobody could pinpoint exactly when, Biscuit began sleeping pressed against Sterling's back. Not near him, against him. Every single night. Sterling, the cat who had spent 3 days on a refrigerator rather than acknowledge this creature's existence, now slept with one gray paw draped over Biscuit's side, with the quiet authority of someone who had made a careful decision and was not interested in revisiting it. Sarah would stand in the bedroom doorway at night and look at the two of them, the big cream one and the gray tabby, curled together like they'd been doing this forever. And she would think about that parking lot. 4 minutes. 4 minutes of telling herself no. What if she had taken a different route home? And then, at exactly 6:47 a.m. on a Wednesday in November, everything shifted. Sarah had been sick for 3 days. Nothing serious, a bad cold, a fever that came and went, the kind of sick where you just want to stay horizontal and not be a person for a while. Sterling adapted immediately and conducted himself with minimal disruption. Biscuit did not adapt. Biscuit canceled his own routine entirely. On day 3, she woke up and couldn't move. Not because she was too sick, because Biscuit was lying directly across her chest, chin resting on her collarbone, eyes open, watching her breathe. Not sleeping, watching. He had been there for hours. He hadn't gone for breakfast, he hadn't gone to find Sterling, he hadn't asked to be picked up. He had stayed. 17 pounds of warmth directly over her heart. She put her hand on his back, he closed his eyes for the first time, and she understood something then. Something she hadn't been able to name in 3 years of picking him up every morning. He had never been acting like a kitten because he didn't know he was big. He had been acting like a kitten because that's what you do when you feel completely, absolutely safe. When the arms that held you at 8 weeks are the same arms that hold you at 17 pounds. When you have never once been given a reason to grow armor. From that morning on, she stopped calling it his baby phase. Because it wasn't a phase, it was just Biscuit, 17.02 pounds of cream-colored proof that some creatures move through the world with their whole chest open. No armor, no hesitation, no memory of the cardboard box. Just the simple, stubborn belief that the person who picked them up is always going to pick them up again. Sterling is 11 now. He still sleeps pressed against Biscuit every single night. He still pretends this means nothing. Nobody believes him. And every morning at 6:15 a.m., Sarah's alarm goes off, and Biscuit is already there. Already waiting, still asking his question, still getting his answer. Some animals never grow out of needing to be held. And maybe, just maybe, that's not something they ever need to grow out of at all. Do you think Biscuit chose Sarah that day outside that grocery store, or did she choose him? Tell me in the comments.